This is NextGen TV with Dave Carter, one of the pioneers of inner city digitalisation and also NextGen. Dave, before we start, just tell us about your background with NextGen.
Well, when we were discussing what's next in communications and connectivity, we started a whole series of discussions with different cities, different rural projects, and out of that came this idea to firstly set up INCA, the Independent Networks Co-op Association, and then out of that we needed a forum for events and discussion, and that's where NextGen was born. So really NextGen, as it is now, can be traced back to those really important discussions 10 years ago about where all this was going.
And NextGen has given a real voice, a real focus for what is really needed out there in the network.
Absolutely. We need to do two things. We need to draw in people with the expertise and share that, but we also need to reach out to people who've never been exposed to these arguments and perhaps really don't know what's happening. And this is a great opportunity to do both of those things.
How do you think we're getting on? I mean, we're talking almost, dare I say, nearly 10 years probably since those early days. How are we making progress in the UK, or not, as the case may be?
Well, we are making progress, but it's slow. I think if you'd have asked us 10 years ago, we'd have expected to achieve things that might take 20, 25 years in 5. So the scorecard is fantastic for enthusiasm, fantastic for ideas, but in terms of achievement, must do better.
Right, okay. But are you confident?
Oh, yes. I, as I mentioned in the conference when I spoke, I think the last 12, 18 months, things have turned. The previous few years up to that point were quite depressing, but now I think there's a real determination to make the kind of independent networks approach happen.
Yes, and I think a lot of it's going to be about innovation, isn't it?
Absolutely, that's got to be the policy challenge and opportunity for the future. Fine, we need to concentrate on rolling out to places that haven't got the connectivity, but without innovation, we're not going to reinvent those business models. Remember, it's not just tech. It's also business models, and we need to test those out, and that's why innovation is so important.
Dave, a great pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you very much. Great pleasure as well.